Number 15 on defense, Julia Frick. In the midfield, number 19, Madeline McGill. In the midfield, number 20, Jenna Ensminger. In the midfield, number 22, Annika Benson. At attack, number 23, Ashley Bennett. At attack, number 24, Allison Burris. On defense, number 25, Melissa Wilson. And on defense, number 27, Kelly Mullen. And in goal, number 30, Rachel Robinson. The Eagles are coached by head coach Ashley Hughes and assisted by Sierra Perud and Liz Barrett. And now, for your Knights, number 1, at attack, Abby Pepperoni. On defense, number 3, Roxy LeBaron. On defense, number 8, Holly Cunha. On defense, number 10, Josie Skopek. In the midfield, number 12, Adelaide Smith. On defense, number 16, Bailey Bruce. In the attack, number 18, Tyler John. In the attack, number 21, Skylar Rose. In goal, number 31, Jessica Webb. And your captains tonight, number 2 in the midfield, Alyssa Johnson. In the attack, number 9, Natalie Ewell. And in the midfield, number 28, Chloe Mitchell. The Knights are coached by head coach Randy Whitworth and assisted by Lauren Thatcher. Let's have a good match.
And we welcome you to Southern Virginia University this beautiful evening as we look across the Skyline Mountains here in the middle of Buena Vista's beautiful, serene sunset evening. We have an amazing contest between the Southern Virginia University Knights women's lacrosse team and the Bridgewater College women's lacrosse team. Bridgewater coming down about 45 minutes south on I-81. Start this game between interconference rivals. The Knights part of the USA South Conference, Bridgewater part of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. This game is the second game for the Knights. They had a bit of a disappointing start against another ODAC team, Roanoke College, to start the season. The women's team for Bridgewater is already 2-1. 1-1, and they have the opportunity right now. We're going to see if, not sure if this goal is going to count. Looks like the ref waving the goal off, throwing the yellow card in. The violation on the shot will be a turnover for the Knights. They were really excited. They only scored 1 goal in the last game against Roanoke. Now, Roanoke was picked to finish second and did receive a first-place vote in the ODAC. Very good team. Opportunity to get some national votes. So, you know, it was a tough first game for Randy Whitworth's team. The Bridgewater College team is coming in with a 6th preseason ranking. We'll talk more about the Knights as well. I am Scotty Winterton, as look to get an interception as Tyler John gets her stick on that ball. I'm here with Adam Peterson, a former lacrosse player here at Southern Virginia University, a colleague in a lot of our broadcasts. Adam, this should be a good opportunity for both teams to get a win. I think it's a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, it's a great matchup, and that showed last year when the two teams played. It was a 12-10 victory for the Knights. Went into halftime 6-6, and the Knights scored the last 3 goals of the game to win. 2 of those coming from Alyssa Johnson and 1 by Paige Sieverts. And Alyssa's goals the 2 goals were 25 seconds apart at the end of that game. Had 5 total in the game along with 1 assist, as the Knights have an opportunity here to get on the board first.
Kind of a tough angle. Yeah, so Natalie Ewell will not take that shot. She's one of the captains for the Knights. Senior midfielder from Oak Grove, Missouri. Knights look to work this ball around. This is their second offensive possession. That first one in transition. Thought they had a goal. Couldn't get it past the referees, though they got it past the goalie. It's an opportunity here for the Knights in the early preseason to face a quality conference, a non-conference foe. Somebody who, as you said, Adam, I mean, they've played Bridgewater before. It's interesting. Southern Virginia University is within about a 2-hour drive of the majority of the ODAC teams. And so it's a really good fit in terms of non-conference schedule for the ODAC teams and Southern Virginia to play. So SVU ends up playing a lot of ODAC teams in the preseason. Looks like we have another violation, turnover. And not sure what the call was, but Alyssa Johnson, who didn't play in the last game, the junior from Salt Lake City, one of the captains on the team, as well as really one of the Knights' best players, has to take a seat for violation.
I think there actually was some miscommunication on the previous violation where she was shown the yellow card. For some reason, miscommunication with the box. This is the first home women's lacrosse game of the season, not only for us, but everyone on the crew working today's game, along with the officials. Just getting back into the swing of things. So there was a miscommunication, as now we're going to have 2 players in the box for the Knights.
Yeah, defender Roxy LeBaron from Crossfield, Alberta, Canada, is also taking a seat. So it's funny looking down there. They both look kind of relaxed, just sitting in the chairs, hanging out. And now when you're 2 players down, you really got to tighten up the defense. Missed. Great save. Jessica Webb stepping in. Unfortunately for the Knights, not able to recover the ground ball, and it'll stay Bridgewater with this 2-player advantage. Lauren Roberts really trying to do a lot of work. When you're 2 players up, though, you can move that ball. If you can outwork the player down defense, you can get some great chances here. Here she'll have an opportunity on the restart. Good angle. She'll be able to get a good shot off. Great step from Jessica Webb as she cut the angle off, stepped out, cutting off Roberts, not letting her get an easy shot. Interception from Chloe Mitchell. Knights on the ball. Oh, turnover in the middle of the field, and that's a tough task for Jessica. It's the one place you really don't want to turn it over when you're clearing the ball.
Yeah, and that was the first goal of the season for Annika Benson.
Goal by number 22.
Yeah, and you mentioned, Coach, just in a really good place right there. Tough pass for Chloe Mitchell to make. 2 players down, though, had to make something to try and clear the ball just over the head of the Knights defender. And Benson, though, was in a good spot and made a good finish on a keeper, Jessica Webb, who's had a couple good saves to start this game.
Yeah, bodes well for the Knights on the defensive end when your goalie's seeing the ball and she's stepping out, playing her angles well. But it's a tough situation to be 2 women down to start the game. Collision at the midfield as Chloe Mitchell goes down. Annika Benson on the ball for the Bridgewater College women's lacrosse team. Like I mentioned, about a 45-minute drive, and that one dropped, and it looked like, I thought it was kicked out. Looks like some sort of deflection, kind of a weird play. Ends up going into the cage, and it'll be the second goal for Bridgewater. They're going to give the goal credit to Jenner Estenminger, the midfielder, freshman from Lexington, local product from right here. She played here last year at Rockbridge County.
Yeah, I heard a big roar coming from the crowd as she gets awarded that goal. I'm sure has plenty of family members here to cheer her on for this one.
The assist goes to Ashley Bennett. And they're going to call another violation on that check. Dale Smith will give the ball back, and Bridgewater will bring the ball down. Ensminger will trigger the offense. Knights are now all even, so we should see a little bit better test of the Bridgewater offense. Check from behind. Great job from Abby Pepperoni. Oh, sorry, I think that was number 10. That was Josie Skopek, the D-mid freshman from San Diego Del Norte High School product. Clearing an issue right now for the Knights.
Yeah, Eagles making it really hard for the Knights to get any passes off, and they're going to regain possession in their offensive end.
They've done a great job checking down, helping in the middle, and Webb seems to be playing really solid. Great cut and finish. Second goal for Annika Benson. Catching and finishing low. Webb has been really solid up high, so Benson grabs that ball on the cut, puts it down low, left corner, and finishes. I don't know, as a goalie, there's really not much you can do. When it's that close, goalies are taught to match stick to stick on the offensive player, and when the player keeps their stick high and finishes low, that tight, there's really nothing you can do.
Yeah, good finish by Benson, who coming into this game only had 1 shot in the previous 2 games. Now in this one, 2 shots on goal, and 2 shots that have hit the net.
Face-off win for Lauren Roberts. Ball on the ground. Grab ball from Benson.
And the draws are going to be huge if the Knights are going to be successful in this game. Already in a hole, down 3 early on in this one. Going to have to do some hard work as there's a pass that just goes wide. It's going to head out of bounds. Holly Kuna is going to be the first one there.
I believe that was Allison Burris, the junior from Virginia Beach, driving up the right side, looking cross crease. I think that check might have hit the goggles because Bailey Bruce was fixing her goggles as off that check, but they're going to call her for the illegal check, and she'll go back and take a chair on the sideline. Knights will be a woman down again. Early turnover on that pass, as Ashley Bennett couldn't really handle the pass.
Yeah, Natalie Yule frustrated there, trying to gather the ground ball, and just took a little step over the 30-yard line, and ref was right there to call that one, and it's going to be possession back to the Eagles.
Yeah, all the little things right now for the Knights are not going wrong, and the Eagles thus far have capitalized on that, which is what you got to do. Again, great cut. Unable to finish was Grace Pietro, another freshman. This one, she's from Fredericksburg. Misconnection on the crease feed. Great find. Really close to getting picked off, but Holly Kuna on the ball. And matriculating it upfield is Josie Skopek.
Yeah, this time the Knights are able to clear the ball, and are going to have a chance to settle it down here.
Yeah, their third offensive possession. 8 minutes and 30 seconds, down 3-0. Alyssa Johnson splitting the defenders, finishing. Great shot across her body, finishing across the goalie's face, down low. Again, when you get in that tight and the goalie's stick is high, and if you can keep that stick up by your ear, the goalie doesn't know where the ball's coming from. A lot of times you'll see players drop their stick down, and the goalies will react to that. We've seen some really fundamental finishes, both from the Eagles earlier, from Benson, and here from looks like they're waving it off.
Yeah, again, it was a good finish. That's 2 now from Johnson, but again, it's going to be called off.
And Natalie Yule is now, I don't know what that call was, honestly, Adam. Just kind of watching the replay, trying to figure out where Natalie was at. Nowhere near the play. They're going to say maybe she was offside somewhere. And then a finish. Great job. Again. I believe that was Benson.
I think this was Ashley Bennett this time.
Couldn't see the number. I'm trying to figure out why the Knights end up going a woman down again. Ashley Bennett from Lauren Roberts on that fourth goal.
Yeah, we're going to have a timeout by the Knights here. As you mentioned, Coach, every little thing that could have gone wrong to start off their season home opener has gone wrong. And Coach Whitworth looking to talk with their players, see what's going on down there on the field, and get things turned around. Only a 4-goal deficit right now. Definitely can play with the Eagles, as we've mentioned.
So it may have been that Natalie, just trying to figure out why she in the box, Natalie may have been the designated player if there was some kind of bench foul, because she was nowhere near the play. But you always have a player designated to be the bench foul player, so it's kind of hard to tell what happened there. But I don't think that Natalie Yule did an on-field violation. So it'll be down 4-0, 8 minutes left. I know the graphic for the time and the score is not working, so we'll be sure to call out shot clock, game clock, and score often. Again, I'm Scotty Winterton here with Adam Peterson. Both of us have had a decent amount of opportunities to be around the women's lacrosse team and lacrosse in general. Formerly, I actually had a daughter play on this women's lacrosse team with and then for Coach Rainey Whitworth. So love this team, love what Coach Whitworth is doing. for the women's lacrosse team, her recruiting. When you look down the women's roster, an impressive amount of players, as is the norm here at Southern Virginia University. Players from Utah, Canada, Missouri, California, North Carolina. We do have a local product in Tupu Mulitalo from Rockbridge High School, going up against our former teammate, Jenna Ensminger. Players from Connecticut, Washington as well. So, for being kind of this small school in the middle of the Blue Ridge Mountains, just a 5-iron shot from Skyline Drive. It's a pretty impressive group in terms of location and where they come from.
Yeah, Tupu yet to see the field so far on in this one, as Alyssa Johnson able to get that ground ball after the draw. Actually tied for the lead on the team with 4 caused turnovers in that game against Roanoke.
We call a violation on Julia Frick. And then the ball just goes down, kind of Piper Searle's stick betrays her and ball's on the ground, and then transition for the Eagles. Great job from Ensminger getting it up, but eventually loses it. Nice in transition. Will come back down the other way as Skylar Rowe try to settle it up for the Knights offense.
Yeah, would like to see the Knights slow this one down after a few back and forth turnovers from both sides. Slow this one down, get the offense set up, and get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 2 goals called off. Be a very different situation. Again, going through. Violation called on the defense. Alyssa Johnson doing what Alyssa Johnson does. She's such a great, her aggressiveness and ability to handle the ball in traffic, splitting defenders with a face dodge, quick enough to get past them. Great check. I think that was Melissa Wilson, the senior from Annandale, Virginia, getting her stick on stick and forcing the turnover.
Yeah, Wilson, you mentioned it, has started every single game in her career before her injury last year. Suffered a season-ending injury last year. Just been really good ever since she arrived on campus at Bridgewater College.
Ashley Vennick called for the cross check, and she'll get a yellow card and take a seat on the sideline. Nice with her first woman up opportunity.
Yeah, love to see him get on the board. There's a good pass to Alyssa Johnson in the middle of the field, able to get out of pressure, and good clear there by the Knights.
Dale Smith trying to get out of trouble. She's able to get the ball to Johnson. They're going to call a violation.
Yeah, good job there by Adelaide, able to recover. Ball pops out of the stick, but didn't lose her composure.
So 6 minutes left in the quarter. Bridgewater, nice hesitation move, not able to keep the ball in her stick though from Natalie Ewell. And the Knights will reset through Chloe Mitchell. Another violation. Push Chloe Mitchell, start. So 5:41 left in the quarter. Bridgewater up 4-0. Shot, and they're going to give that ball. Great job on the backup was Miranda Coleman.
I like the aggressiveness, though, by Adelaide on that shot.
Not sure. No, that wasn't Miranda. I'm sorry. That was 27, Kelly Mullen. The ones and the 7s on the jersey look a little bit the same. And the turnover. Sorry, Adam. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was a good job there by Mitchell. But I like that aggressiveness on that shot. Had some room there. Adelaide did. Kind of in the same spot she is right now. It was a good bounce shot. just a little too much on it, bounces over the goal, and you mentioned it, Eagles do a good job backing it up to get possession.
Yeah, in case you're unfamiliar with the rules, on a shot, whoever is closest to the ball the moment it goes out of bounds is awarded possession. A rule meant to keep the game really fluid in that you don't want, teams are not afraid to shoot the ball because they have a chance to get it back, and you want those shots. Nice up and down, but the save, fantastic save from Rachel Robinson. We do have a violation. It looks, trying to figure out, they're going to call it on the Knights. Shooting space violation, and they're going to put Alyssa Johnson back in the penalty box. Not happy at all with the call. You know, it's a lot of fun watching Alyssa Johnson play the game of lacrosse because she's so aggressive. She shot around her defender. I think they're going to call her shooting because of the second defender behind it. They're going to call a violation on the shooter, and a lot of conversation right now with Coach Whitworth. I think she's saying, look, that second player was far enough outside that this is big girl lacrosse. And, let us play lacrosse. We got to play within the rules, but that is such a strict interpretation.
Yeah, and the way they're, we obviously can't hear them from up here in the box, but the way they're signaling and motioning, it looked like they were talking about that first defender, with her saying she went around her, went off her hip, it wasn't over the top. And it might not have even had to do with the second defender, but obviously we don't know. Either way, it doesn't change the outcome for Alyssa Johnson and the Knights. She's still in the box, and the Knights are still down 4.
It's interesting. She's out of the penalty box. She's on the sideline. I can't tell if she's actually... Yeah, it's hard to figure out exactly what the situation is up here. We need to have a little more communication, I think, with the sideline. But violation on the Eagles. And it's going to give Natalie Ewell, the Oak Grove, Missouri native, a chance to get a shot off. She wants to take it. She takes it low. Great save again. Robinson on her A game. Players get tangled up. Eventually, Knights come away. Feet on the crease and a catch and finish. No, they're going to call another stop to play. Another goal. Looks like we'll be wiped off.
Looks like the Knights are going to keep possession at least this time.
I think the problem was that the shot clock should not have reset. So the referee called a stop since there was not a turnover and the shot clock reset. The Knights just getting the ground ball. Unfortunate for the Knights. But a lot to be positive about as the body check comes through, knocking down a Knights player. Piper Searle going down. That was really aggressive. She was a Bridgewater sandwich there. She got it from both sides. It'll result not in a man down situation, but finishing from coming across the crease. Great job on defense. It was a very good cut from Tyler John, but the defense was there to check.
Again, there another good not necessarily a cut, but just a little slip there to find some space. Natalie Ewell did a good job to find her, but violation's going to be called, and she's going to have an opportunity here.
Comes across the face, tries to go low, can't finish. Ground ball in traffic, fantastic ground ball.
Yeah, Rachel Robinson, the freshman, has been impressive in goal for the Eagles.
Yeah, Julia Frick there moving the ball down, but really a great job. Timeout, I believe, called by the Eagles.
Timeout, Bridgewater.
That ball on the ground right in front of Robinson was snagged by Karis Clanelli, the freshman from Aberdeen, Maryland. Both of these teams have a lot of freshmen and sophomores they're putting on the field. The Knights have a couple seniors, Holly Kuna and Natalie Ewell, starting. But other than that, it's mostly freshmen and sophomores. Alyssa Johnson is a junior. But just a lot of young players. And across the other side of the field, looking over the Eagles roster, there's a number of freshmen that they have on the field already that have contributed. Ground balls and, with Jenna Hensminger's goal. A lot of youth, and I think the rest of both conferences are pretty, they're big lacrosse conferences, and just in terms of size, 10 teams on the ODAC side and 11 teams in the USA South. The Knights were picked to finish second in the USA South preseason poll. They did get 2 first-place votes. They finished 7 points out of the first-place voting. Meredith College has got the first-place vote, picked to finish first in the women's preseason poll. Rounding out the top 5 is Averett, Piedmont, and Methodist. So it's really a cool opportunity for the Knights coming from the Capital Athletic Conference, which has a Christopher Newport and a Salisbury. They have teams that are perennial top 10 and even top 5 teams. And coming into a conference where they have an opportunity to compete, you still want to be able to play, to level, and compete against teams that are going to be competing in the top 20. But also getting to a conference championship is really important. And the Knights have a really cool opportunity to do that. For Bridgewater, they've got a tough road ahead with WNL finishing first in the conference in preseason voting, Roanoke College finishing second. Those are 2 really good teams that will also be probably in the top 20 nationally.
Yeah, tough conference, year in and year out. The Eagles get an opportunity to play some really good teams, as you mentioned. And right now they just are in a good position to start this one off. Just over 2 minutes remaining, 2 minutes and 20 seconds here. Still leading 4-0. Good clear there by Natalie Ewell. Finds Tyler John.
I'm really impressed with the play of Adelaide Smith and Tyler John. Just really kind of sneaky players. Tyler, a sophomore. Watch how good she is with her stick. And there's the finish. Johnny on the spot with the finish as I'm talking her up. Really quick, great stick. I've seen really solid play. Complimenting Alyssa Johnson. They need it. They need some play on that offensive end to complement some of the more senior play from Alyssa Johnson. But and Natalie Ewell. Those 2, I think, are going to do a great job. Between Ewell, those 2 players, Johnson, the Knights have an offense that can put points on the board.
Yeah, John, the sophomore, as you mentioned, played midfield last year, switching over to attack this year. 5 goals and 1 assist. And especially in this game, as she gets Knights on the board, they're really going to need her without Johnson the rest of the game. After receiving that second yellow, and they're missing a lot. Led the team in goals and points the past 2 years, set the single season program record with 63 points last year. and second team all conference after finishing in the top 5 in points, goals, and assists. And that's what the Knights are missing for the rest of this one.
Yeah, it's really kind of it's a real letdown. For her personally, you saw her on the sideline, kind of head in her hands, home opener, and it really kind of a disappointing moment for her. But she'll bounce back. She'll have another opportunity. Plenty of games left. She's a leader on this team, as mentioned, a captain, and she'll be able to bounce back. It's hard to have that happen in your home opener. She's over right now next to Coach Whitworth as Webb ends up with the ball in her stick, and she'll look to transition quickly out to Roxy LeBaron, and she'll move the ball up, trying to connect with Adelaide Smith. Ahead of the play is Ani Hacker. And what a great save, yeah.
Man. Yeah, you mentioned it earlier that when the goalie's seeing the ball, that just makes your life on defense a little bit easier. And I feel like Jessica Webb's just been seeing the ball ever since she stepped on campus. Still holds the single game program record with 21 saves in a game last year. Man, that was a fun one. And only has 3 right now so far, but they've been big ones and really kept the Knights in this one early on.
Get a chance from very dangerous spot, just missing. A little to the left was Ashley Bennett already with a goal. 26 seconds left in the quarter. Knights are down 1-4. Quickly transitioning up, only 15 seconds left. Ewell getting it ahead, just over the stick of Tyler John. And it looks like the clock will run out as the Knights unable to do anything with that transition moment. Down 4-1. 2 goals taken off the board for penalties, violations. Very interesting quarter, eventful.
3 goals.
Oh, 3, that's right.
2 from Alyssa, and then that one that they blew
shot clock
on. Yeah, from Tyler John. I believe it was Tyler John that finished inside. Yep. Yeah, could be a tie game right now. Just a really tough first quarter for the Knights, not getting any breaks going their way. But you mentioned a lot of bright spots as well. Jessica Webb in goal played a good first quarter. The clear started to look better throughout that first quarter. That last clear with Natalie Ewell looked really good, getting the ball in her stick. And yeah, now it's just going to depend on what the offensive unit can do without their leader and really heavy hitter Alyssa Johnson.
We'll take a 2-minute quick timeout, come back to you as the second quarter starts.
Welcome back to Knights Stadium in this second quarter of this women's lacrosse matchup between the Southern Virginia University Knights and the Bridgewater College Eagles. There was an extended break where the two head coaches got together with the head referee. Not sure what was going on, but it was a frustrating first quarter for the Knights where Alyssa Johnson has now been ejected from the game after 2 yellow cards, both being called on the follow-through as Natalie Ewell does a wonderful job there. But yeah, we got some clarification during that quarter break, and it was on the follow-through of Alyssa Johnson's shot. Not that the ball was in the path at all, which we thought that second one might be. Either way, not going to be able to help the Knights the remainder of this game, who have a good opportunity right now, having the extra player on the field.
Great save from Robinson. The thing about that ejection, unlike soccer, they will not be playing a woman down. Oh, great job coming underneath. And I believe I thought it went in. It looked like it went in, yeah. Just came out really quick. That was a fantastic dodge from, I believe that was Katie Petersheim.
Going for the Eagles by number 3, Katie Petersheim.
Petersheim finishing, getting underneath the defense. Great job from her. Clearly, I mean, she is quick. That's a tough cover one-on-one, and the Knights didn't have any support in that early transition. A lot of times in early transition, Adam, when a team comes down, it's not a fast break. You might be all even. But those opportunities in early transition give you a great shot at taking one-on-one opportunities without defenses being in a help scenario.
Yeah, the sophomore attack, second on the team last year in goals with 17, and also tied for second on the team in assists with 8. That was her first goal of the season, adding to her 2 assists. And you mentioned it, that was just a quick move and a good finish. A little confusion again with the referees that may have just hit the post, but they did get it right and does get the goal that she deserved there off a good move.
Yeah, it definitely went in that top left corner. Finishing with confidence and catching the ball with defense draped all over her was Madeline McGill.
For the Eagles, number 19, Madeline McGill, assisted by
fantastic finish. Bridgewater showing that you might be playing defense and covering, but you better have the stick in the path of the ball and able to put a check in, because the Bridgewater team is going to, the Eagles, they're going to feed the crease, and they've already shown the propensity to catch and finish on the crease. It's not going to be enough to be on a hip. You're going to have to be on that. So we talk about on the defensive side, you can't be playing on the downfield shoulder. You got to be able to play the upfield shoulder, which means you can get across the body, check the stick. If you're just playing that downfield shoulder, the near shoulder, they can still have room to catch and finish. And if you're going to catch in that tight, and that ball got their stick got checked just a little bit. It wasn't a hard shot, but when you're in that close, it doesn't have to be the hardest shot to find the back of the net.
Yeah, and really, the Knights having an extra defender on the field and the Eagles not doing a single thing to change up their attack. They're going to continue to attack you, find those cutters, and try and extend their lead.
Tupu Mulitalo is checked in for the first time this evening, the freshman defender from just down the road in Lexington. Her father, her sister is on the conference championship team. Great switch. Tupu continues to play defense, and the cross crease feed was right on the money, but Hacker unable to finish. Tupu's older sister plays on the conference championship basketball team, headed to the NCAA tournament, playing Shenandoah in Transylvania. So Shenandoah is just from up the road, about an hour north, up in past just by Harrisonburg, and Knights having to travel to Lexington, Kentucky at Transylvania College to play Shenandoah.
Knights got lucky there. Melissa Wilson again just showing her leadership there on that defense. Just picked that pass off, just unable to get control, and there's a good clear by the Eagles.
Robinson grabbing the crease feed and then quickly up to her attackman as the Knights didn't have a defender on her, and another feed crossed the crease, and they're going to call a violation, giving Katie Petersheim a free ball. Jessica Webb's going to have to come up big here. Tough shot. Off stick.
Goal Eagles, Petersheim.
Down low. Really hard to get to. And that's a fantastic finish by Petersheim. Unassisted. Results in the 7th goal for Bridgewater. They're led by Petersheim. That's her second, and Benson has 2. She got 2 early, Annika Benson. Lone goal scorer for the Knights is Tyler John. So Bridgewater up 7-1, 11:53 left in the second quarter. Knights played much of that first quarter down 1 or 2 players. Had 3 goals wiped off of the scoring column from shooting space and then a shot clock that didn't start. They will win this draw, and it'll be opportunity for Ewell into the hands of teammate John, the Knights' lone goal scorer. It'll stay Knights ball. The give and go back to John, not able to corral that pass. It's a good look from Natalie Ewell. Quickly out to the wing. And a great job finding Bennett open, down 10 yards in front of the cage as Benson goes down really hard. Violation will result in a free ball opportunity straight away from Robinson. This is a really dangerous opportunity for Bridgewater, and then shot and finish. They're going to call a violation, and it'll be Knights ball. No goal. As Webb grabs it out of the cage, looking for her teammates.
Yeah, that was Benson looking to get back on the board. Good finish in the bottom left corner. Not going to count.
Bailey Bruce doing a great job on the clear and taking matters into her own hands. Eventually she gets double teamed, tries to find Ewell. Ewell picked the ball up and finished the clear. Now in transition, the Knights have got to figure out how to not press and keep the ball a little bit right here. You can see just, when you're down by 6, it's difficult to have the kind of patience that you need to keep the ball and work it. Ewell taking that ball in. I think she was quadruple teamed when she stepped into the kind of that 5-meter range. Catch and curl on the shot. Robinson up to the task, stick side high. Didn't have to do much to save that one. She was ready for it, makes the save. We just go underneath the 10-minute mark in the second quarter. Bridgewater up 7-1.
Yeah, you mentioned, though, like to see the Knights be a little more patient as they're going to have a good opportunity here.
Great interception, yeah, from Bruce.
Yeah, picked off pass, and she's going to take it all the way down. Looks like she will slow it down now. We'll wait for her teammates. But on that last offensive possession, Chloe Mitchell did get to a pretty good spot, a far out shot, but we've seen her make those plenty of times over the years. Just the placement of the shot on that one. You mentioned stick side high, made it easy for Robinson in goal.
Free opportunity. Getting inside, throws the fake, and then the save. She faked cross, came back, and I don't think that Robinson went for the first fake. Held her position, and Bruce ends up shooting right into her stick. Good fake, just Robinson didn't fall for it. Oh, dangerous there, almost. A great find is Allison Burris. Looking for her teammates underneath. Knights come up with the ground ball.
Yeah, Tupu, ever since she came in, has been really impressive. Had some good plays defensively where she was able to stop the ball carrier, and a couple times where she's able to pick up a ground ball also and get some clears.
Yeah, that was McGill, right, camping on that left corner. Call that sniper spot. Wide open and just couldn't connect. And then the ride ends up turning the ball over. And then again into the hands of Bennett.
Yeah, Bailey Bruce was trying to talk to her teammates there and get one of them to move or make a cut so she could make a pass after she just had that length of the field clear not 45 seconds ago, trying to get some help.
Knights doing a little bit better job on the cutters. Staying on that upfield shoulder. As the Eagles, 55 on the shot clock. Submarine cut underneath. And they'll call a violation on the Knights. Not really a good shooting opportunity unless she can get down underneath Mulitalo. It'll be kind of a one-on-one scenario right here. So Mulitalo is going to have to step in. She does. And then the cut, but great save as Jessica Webb comes across her body, gets that into her stick, following the path of the offensive player's shot. Matching stick to stick, gets there. Great stop. Mulitalo now doing her best Bailey Bruce imitation and clearing all the way down. Now she'll find teammate Adelaide Smith. So, they're down 6. You've given up 7 goals halfway through the second quarter now. 7 minutes left. The Knights, they looked really good to start out. And aggressive defense. Looked like a pretty good stick check from Karis Cianelli. But they're going to say it was a violation. They're going to put her back behind Ewell, and Ewell has an opportunity now. Dangerous, doesn't take advantage. Shoot, moves it out. Great job getting inside the defense was Chloe Mitchell. But again, Robinson just standing tall, rejecting, putting the shot back on the ground. Should be a shot clock reset. That's what the referees are calling for. 90 seconds. Back on the shot clock. So shot clocks in women's lacrosse in college reset to the full 90. In men's lacrosse, they've changed the rule where you have an 80-second shot clock on a change of possession, but anytime the clock restarts on the shot clock restarts on a shot that is a save or goes off the goal or a violation, it only resets to 60. Oh no, I think they made that. I think they made that rule in women's too, right?
I think so too. I think
I haven't seen them doing it. It keeps going to 90. I thought it was a change. So yeah, then they move it back to 60. So good. Which is a great idea for the sport. Just trying to keep possessions moving, going quicker, not allowing the offenses to stall as much, You see a lot of that in both men's and women's lacrosse, and now they've done a great job in bringing that in. And this is the best connection we've seen of the evening from the Knights. That cut and finishing across her body, the location of the shot was going to be really difficult for Robinson to get to. We've seen her get to shots like that, but enough pace on the ball to get it past. And it was really the first time that we've seen in the last kind of maybe 10 minutes, the Knights really work the crease and the cuts and then able to complete the connection. A couple passes we've seen just haven't been able to be completed. And that goal from Chloe Mitchell was a great cut. Tyler John on the feed.
Yeah, we've seen Chloe Mitchell do that plenty of times over the years. Likes to use her height that she has to her advantage. Gets that stick up high coming down, but still finishes high, almost over the goalie. That's how it looks like, just coming down, especially when you see it down there from field level. Just an impressive player coming off a second team all-conference in the Coast to Coast Conference, previously known as the Capital Athletic Conference that we talked about a little bit earlier. Good call right there. The referee right in line to see the Eagles player step on the red line out of bounds. Possession back to the Knights.
Yeah, good ball by Brooke Hansen to get in her stick. The sophomore attackman just stepped out of bounds. The Knights now with some transition opportunity as Eagles get back on D. The Knights now 7-on-7. Belle Quiggle on the ball. The Logan, Utah product. Great finish.
This time Mitchell to John, repaying the favor.
Didn't want to be in her debt. Had to repay. She was like, I'm not going to be in your debt here. I'm going to give it back. Didn't want to have to Venmo her after the game.
You mentioned it, though. The past couple possessions, Knights have looked a lot better in getting into those dangerous areas. And off the cuts and passes, where before, especially when Johnson was in the game, relying heavily on her to just beat the defender in front of her one-on-one and make a play. Ewell even trying to do that a little bit here, and we know that both of them are capable of doing that, but just able to get to a good spot here off the Tyler John, just a little back cut.
Yeah, does a great job cutting around the back of her defender. And again, just like we were talking about on the Knights, on a cut you have to be on the upfield shoulder as a defender to stop any kind of passes coming in, or at least be able to check the stick as the pass comes in. And the last two goals, defenders for the Eagles were not able to be on that shoulder, and even if you're right on their backs. But the other thing was the finish on both. That finish low, hard, really difficult for Robinson, who's having a fantastic game already with 7 saves and a couple really difficult ones. It'll be a turnover, reset on the shot clock, 4:50 on the game clock, and the Eagles up 7-3. Knights on a 2-goal run. Tupu causing the turnover. Mulitalo allowing Quiggle to get the ball. Quiggle comes from great lacrosse stock. Her father, Aaron Quiggle, incredible defender from San Diego, played for Brigham Young University. One of the best midfield long stick players, playing close defense at times. Actually kind of a close defender, but his stick was phenomenal and could have played anywhere on the field with his long stick, even played some man up with his long stick at BYU, and she comes from just a really great background in the lacrosse. And then coming from some pretty good lacrosse up in the Cache Valley area of Utah.
Piper Searle's going to have an opportunity here.
Just over the cage. Robinson not able to get her stick on it, and that double team coming on the end line, and they're going to be a restart. 3:50 left. Shot clock's at 50. Knights, patience moving around. Yule in front of two defenders and finishes going against the third. You talked about the team play. Well, right there, Yule did a great job beating two defenders. And again, coming back across the face, her face to finish hip high off stick, making things really difficult on Robinson. Robinson not able to get there. The Knights, 3 in a row, get themselves back in this game. 7-1 looked kind of dismal and depressing for the Knights, but now just a 3-goal deficit. And we haven't seen a lot out of the Eagles in the last 5 minutes on the offensive end. They need to get the ball, settle it down, in a bit of a similar situation, having gone on a 4-goal run. The Knights needed to get back to just feeling good with having the ball. I think the Eagles need to do that again because they've got some great dodgers, but their team offense has really been the story on the offensive end. Haven't seen much of that in the last 5 minutes.
And it starts right here for them if they're able to get possession, which they are.
Great draw. Jeanette Hensminger coming up with the ground ball, but then turns it over on the pressure from the Knights in the ride.
Yeah, they have really picked it up over the past few minutes.
Boy, that was a difficult feed. Goes over the head of everybody, defenders and offensive players alike. Ends up in Yule's stick, and then there's a turnover. Simple, unforced error on that pass. Now under 3 minutes. A little frustrating for Coach Whitworth. When you have the momentum like this, you want to be able to capitalize on it. Turnover. The Knights will, their ride, they're really going to let the defenders and the goalie bring it up. Try to shut things down in the midfield. Good find as Moeller moves the ball upfield. Clear is completed. And then the cut. Doesn't manage to hold on to the ball. I believe that was Faith Bartos, the midfielder. Now early transition from Lily Tallow. Switches to her left hand. Gets the ball over to Smith. Showing a little patience right here. Good job. The Eagles did a great job getting back on defense.
Yeah, going to that last offensive possession for the Eagles, good thing the Knights were able to cause a turnover because there was some miscommunication and there was a player running on very late for the Knights. Definitely had an opportunity there, the Eagles that is, to get back on the board and end this run, but Knights doing a good job and have an opportunity to cut the deficit to 2 here.
Minute 15 left in the second quarter. Shot clock at 30. Turnover, quickly ahead. Great job from Bartos, getting the ball up. Roberts, little bobble there from Hansen, but now back to Bartos, and got a violation call. That'll slow things up. And ball over to Roberts. She'll look to set up the offense. First real good settled possession for the Eagles. There's only 30 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Plenty of time. Chasing the ball down. She'll get there in time. However, Etzminger can't come up with it right away. Does eventually get it. Violation called. LeBaron called for the no-no, and they'll put the ball back in the stick of Ensminger. And clock runs out. Double zeros.
Halftime score, Bridgewater 7.
So
Knights
what looked like
4.
was headed into blowout territory for the Eagles. The Knights scored the last 3 goals, putting themselves in a 3-goal deficit. Got to be kind of that's depending on whether you're wearing the burgundy hat right now or crimson and white for the Knights. It really felt like Bridgewater had this game in hand, in control. And it didn't seem like the Knights were doing a lot of bad things. They're just little things. A turnover here, a lost player here on defense, not really strong on winning draws. And then all of a sudden, they turned around at them and look over the stats, and they're actually pretty even across the board.
Yeah, we knew that one coming into this game. This was going to be an even game. But you're right. After that first quarter, it didn't look like it was going to be. Knights kind of settled down. First home game jitters finally went away there in that second quarter.
And losing Alyssa Johnson can't help.
Yeah, losing Alyssa Johnson was huge. And so it really did look like it was going to go heavily in favor of the Eagles into that second quarter. And especially after that, Knights get the last goal of the first quarter, but 3 quick ones for the Eagles to push it to 7-1. But the Knights fighting back, staying patient, working the offense, and doing it on the defensive end as well, causing a lot of turnovers. The Eagles now have 18 turnovers compared to the Knights' 16. And if the Eagles are going to want to close this one out, being up 3 at halftime, they're going to have to protect the ball in the second half.
Yeah, it's that's one of the things that you notice that despite having seven goals, they also had 18 turnovers, and a lot of that coming in the second quarter. And so, if they can take care of the ball, they've got the skills. And clearly, with the ball in their sticks, they do a great job. It's Ashley Hughes, head lacrosse coach. She's coming from, she joined Bridgewater, and she was announced as their head coach in June of 2021. So, she's really excited to come in and put her stamp on this team. And she, I'm sure, is happy with the start of that game. Coach Whitworth looked really frustrated from the Knights side, losing 3 points on violation and kind of mismanagement or a bad luck on the shot clock not starting. But as it is, we've got a game. 7 minutes left in this halftime. Teams will try and put together game plans and see if they can't come out with an opportunity to get a win, because, as you said, Adam, these are very equal teams, and this is a really important opportunity for both in a non-conference game. Pick up a win, feel good about themselves. Knights coming off kind of a demoralizing game against Roanoke, really important for them, and the kind of locality, these teams being close together, you always want to get a win against teams that are real close. These teams play each other in just about every sport on each team. So great opportunity for both teams. I'm Scotty Winterton with Adam Peterson. We'll take a 5-minute break, come back, and look forward to the second half. And we welcome you back to the third quarter. This contest between the Bridgewater College Eagles visiting the Southern Virginia University Knights women's lacrosse team here at Knights Field. The beautiful sunset is now faded into blackness and lights are fully on. Pretty good crowd for a first game of the season, at least the home opener for the Knights, their second game. I'm sure a lot of these fans have made the trip down. A lot of players from the Bridgewater roster are local Virginia or Maryland products. Adam, looking at the players, there's a couple players from Bridgewater really having standout games in that first half.
Yeah, Benson got off to a quick start. Annika Benson, that is. 2 goals in that first 5 minutes of the first quarter. Also, you mentioned Rockbridge County High School product. Jenna Ensminger got on the board pretty quick, adding a goal. Also has an assist to her name, but leading is Katie Petershine, 2 goals and an assist with 3 points as that shot just goes high. That's for the Eagles. They'll retain possession. And the Knights, Tyler John has really stepped up in the absence of Alyssa Johnson. 2 goals and an assist. Natalie Yule and Chloe Mitchell also adding a goal to round out the scoring for the Knights.
Nice feed. Benson trying to get back on the scoreboard, but denied by the save from Jessica Webb. Great job from her. The feed was beautiful, and the catch just couldn't finish that long ball. Good handles. That was an incredible catch. Wow, indeed. I'm not sure people understand it. If you haven't played this game, catching that ball from that far away off of that bounce is really tough. That was incredible from Addison England. We didn't see anything like that from her in the first half. The freshman from Sandy, Utah. Listed as a defender, playing sort of a midfield position right now. Ball is in her right hand. She turns her shoulders and able to finish on the far pipe, stick side against Robinson. I did not. She had 2 defenders sort of in front of her. That was an incredible finish.
Yeah, the placement on that shot as we watched the replay there was perfect. It's been tough all night to beat Robinson in goal for the Eagles, the freshman, who's played really well, 7 saves in that first half. Not a ton of power behind that shot, but when you place it like that, you don't need a ton of power. Speaking from experience on that one, Coach.
No, Adam, you had a great shot, but absolutely right. It's often about location when you're within 5 or 6 yards of the cage.
Huge momentum builder, though, for the Knights to get on the board first here in this third quarter, cut the deficit to 2. Going to have to continue the hard work on the defensive end that started in that second quarter, causing quite a few turnovers, just making it really a lot more difficult on the Eagles to score than it was in that first quarter.
Really impressed with that ground ball by Ashley Bennett. Cutting underneath, great offense. Knights not recognizing the danger as Lauren Roberts catches that ball on the right side and then cuts underneath the defender. Wasn't a backdoor cut, just the defender got caught a little high and gave that underneath dodge. Then coming across the face of Jessica Webb, she got as deep as she could, creating as much angle as she could, and then eventually able to finish. Good job by the Eagles to stem the 4-goal run of the Knights. They needed that goal. Go back to a 3-point lead, 12:40 left in the third quarter. A really important goal for the Eagles, and they are going to try and capitalize, see if they can put a couple together. That draw, fantastic job putting it to the hands of her teammate was Grace Pietro.
Yeah, Roberts coming into this game had 6 goals between the first 2, so 3 goals a game. Also had added 2 assists in those first 2 games. So 4 points a game coming into this one. Did have an assist in the first half, but really the first time, other than that assist that we mentioned her name on the offensive end, I remember her getting into a couple good spots where she had opportunities to get some good shots that just went high. But great job there on that one to get on the score sheet with a goal. And the Eagles are going to have a great opportunity here as they have an extra player on the field.
Yeah, Addison England will take a seat, the most recent goal scorer for the Knights. Again, great job by Bennett. Keep control of that ball. That pass is off. 1v1 on the ground ball. And they're going to call a cover or a kick. They're going to call a kick.
Great hustle there by Adelaide Smith. Outrunning the Eagles player.
That ball deflecting off the Knights on the far side. Tough pass. Yule was really covered right there. Going to have to be a perfect pass. That's a bit of what haunted the Knights in the first quarter was some clearing woes just in decision making on the passes. And it looks like we have a timeout. Very early timeout from Coach Hughes. Coach Hughes had 11 seasons of previous head coaching experience before coming to this Bridgewater Eagles team. She had some time in another Division III program as she coached at in the North Coast Athletic Conference at Allegheny College. Before that, she was at St. Michael's College in Vermont for a couple years, the head coach. That's a D2 school. And then last year in June announced as the head coach here.
Yeah, left her alma mater, right? Allegheny to come to Bridgewater.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear that story. Coach Whitworth was named head coach fairly recently as well, back in June of 2019. Unfortunately, the first season was the COVID shortened season. They went into that with some high hopes in the new coach, and in fact, they were 6-0 at the end of at the beginning of the COVID process, where basically all sports were shut down. We all remember that nightmare. Really hard on teams everywhere to keep motivated, stay excited. Players had to go home from school. Everybody went home in March, right? It was just such an awkward time. And then able to coach last season, the 2021 season was her first real season, full season as the Knights head coach, and now continues recruiting and coaching, and very integral part of what's going on here at SVU right now in the athletic department.
Yeah, and even last season, there were restrictions in place and some games canceled, teams added to the schedule at the end of the season to try and get some extra games, as that's a crazy turn and finish.
Yeah, catching that, spinning off of her defender, and then finishing just off hip of Jessica Webb.
Yeah, I think that was Petersheim. Yeah, that was Petersheim there.
Whitworth is actually an alum of Southern Virginia University. By the time she finished here, she was second in goals, ground balls, and caused turnovers and free possession goals all time. Second, third all time in total points. So she had a good college career at Southern Virginia, transferred here from SCAD, which she helped them win a national championship in the NAIA divisions. Went over and became the inaugural head coach at at St. Mary's, University of St. Mary's. And then the Knights now answering, really important for them as well. Down 4, answers to get it back to a 3-goal deficit.
Yeah, beautiful shot by Skylar Rowe, but you got to give a lot of credit there to Natalie Ewell, doing a lot of work there on the clear, just running past her defender, who also got called for a violation, but they just let her go because Natalie was running so fast. And then a beautiful pass right on the stick, and Rowe, though, got to give credit to that shot, placed it right in the corner.
Yeah, the great cut going down, really lost her defender who went out to play Ewell. Nobody comes in behind. We call that a second slide, right? So defender had to come out to play Ewell. Maybe came off a little early, but needed to communicate with her defenders that she was leaving Rowe. That communication is not there. Teammates behind it don't see the need for the second slide. And then the pass and the finish. Another shot, never gets, I don't think it got through. I think it was deflected. And nice pass up ahead as Lauren Roberts runs onto that pass. Turnover on, maybe not a turnover, a fight, ground ball, 2-on-1. Mulitalo, as you mentioned, doing a great job, really earning some spot time. She may end up starting. She keeps playing like this. And great job seeing the cut coming. Looked like it was a pass to Ewell.
Yeah, she made it look that way.
She really anticipated the cut and got there before the attack, and then returns the favor as number 25, Melissa Wilson. Great interception on her end. Now it's a 3-on-2. Finish on, and they're going to call a stop to play up top.
Yeah, that actually might work in favor for the Knights there. That was Petersheim, who was going to have an opportunity one-on-one against Jessica Webb. And Petersheim's been on fire.
And the finish comes anyway from Lauren Roberts, a sophomore from Frederick, Maryland, Tuscarora High School.
Yeah, Roberts last year was also the leading scorer with 19 goals.
As a freshman.
Yeah, had 7 assists for 26 total points. Went 8 for 13 on free position opportunities last year. And 4 of 8 coming into this game this year. So just deadly on those free position opportunities.
Yeah, and that's a tough place to have one. But she makes the most of it by going excellent location on the shot. Goalie's off stick, left side. Finishing hip to knee height. It's just really hard for goalies to get to that ball. You're going to have to just come out and use the angle, which Webb tried to cut off that angle. Better draw. Missing the ground ball, though, was Chloe Mitchell. The draw was fantastic. It'll stay in the possession of the Knights as Mitchell has the ball up top. They'll get it behind. Getting the defender on her hip. Tyler John, just so quick, hard to stay with. Smith will drive and draw. Move it back. 58 seconds on the shot clock. 8:51, 8:50 in the game. Violation call as John comes out to contest that ground ball. It'll stay Knights ball.
Yeah, good job by her.
They'll get a free position shot. She's really good right here. See how quick. I think this is where John shines. Gets inside. And able to finish. I think the defenders did a really good job getting in and getting their sticks in solid position to stop the shot, but John would have none of it. Finishes, puts the Knights back within 3, so we've got a lot of back and forth here. It was a 3-goal lead going into halftime. We've got battling goals, both teams with 3 goals now within the first 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, and we've had 3 goals here in the first little bit, as you mentioned, of this third quarter. But I also feel like the defense has picked it up. The whole level of play has just kind of risen after halftime, especially that last possession for the Eagles defensively looked really good. Tyler John just given an opportunity to shine, even on the free position you mentioned. Defenders did a great job getting into a good spot, but Tyler John just protects her stick and does a good job finishing there. And Chloe Mitchell,
Great draw, punching that out front to herself. She went up against Grace Pietro, the freshman. Mitchell is a senior from Richland, Washington. Ball is down, still down. Mitchell able to come up with it. Interesting play. I'm not sure that. Is there a whistle? Can't tell. They're not going to put the defender back behind. They're just going to restart right away. John back and forth, drawing one and then another defender. Good job on defense is Melissa Wilson, senior from Annandale. And the violation on the defender, Karis Cianelli. Cross crease and into the stick. Great coming across her face was Robinson. Did a great job of punching that top hand across her face. When you're in those positions, one of the things you'll often hear, because what goalies try and do is just match stick to stick. They're obviously came in. Then Huitalo with the interception. She's 2-on-1. See what she can do with this. Chooses not to slow it down, keeps pushing. Then the shovel pass up to her teammate Adelaide Smith. But when you're in that tight, if you can pull that ball low, most goalies will not get to that. They'll come across, they'll get a cross-face save like that one where they just punch that hand across. That's why you want to turn and finish low if you can. And they'll get a shooting space foul and free opportunity.
yeah, that was a good cut there and a good find by Ewell.
Rowe, opportunity to finish here. Knights trying to get within 2 for the first time since they were down by 3, and here it is. Rowe with a solid finish. Man, she was quick off the whistle. Now the Knights down by 2, clawing their way back in after being down 7-1.
Yeah, and Tupu Mulitalo is not going to be seen on the score sheet for that goal. That goal really comes from her hard work, intercepting that cross-field pass to re-give the Knights possession there. And that ended up being the reason why the Knights are within 2 here.
Yeah, Rowe, the sophomore from Lee's Summit, Missouri, really been involved in the offense in the last few minutes. Mitchell out to take the draw again, this time going up against Faith Bartos, the freshman. Mitchell wins it again, back to herself, quickly up ahead. Double team coming to Ewell, but the speed of Ewell running past.
Knights, yeah, this third quarter have looked really calm on the offensive end. And even without Alyssa Johnson, which her not playing in the first game against Roanoke, even though not the outcome they got.
Yeah, not sure how much difference she might have made of that, right?
Yeah, but might have helped these younger players in this game, not knowing that she wasn't going to be able to play most of this game due to that disqualification, and they are, after some confusion, going to give the goal.
Yeah, Ewell comes across. She beats her first defender going horizontal. She looked across like she was going to pass it with a nice fake, and then shot it quickly to go off hip. Really nice goal from Ewell. Clever, sneaky goal.
And just like that, it's a 9-10 game.
Yeah, they kept that defender back behind Ewell, and there was an opening that she took. The defenders kind of got there, just a few pass fakes, and froze the defenders, which is really an important skill set for an offensive player. Using your pass to freeze defenders, using a pass fake to freeze defenders just for a half second, make them hesitate, can give you the advantage coming up underneath, and they're going to call the draw violation, sending in Jenna Etzminger. Etzminger is the third. This is the third person that they've put out in the last 3 times against Mitchell. And open in front of the crease and just off. Couldn't find Searle. She was open, just they couldn't connect. Now another player open and turn and finish. That's Abby Pepperoni. Finishing, she's super excited. The sophomore from Orem, Utah, went to Timpanogos High School.
And she has every right to be excited. Their teammates right there along with her, as this game is now tied at 10 with 5.5 minutes remaining here in this third quarter.
Abby Pepperoni, the pride of Timpanogos High School, traveling 2,000 miles to play for this Southern Virginia Knights University team. Fantastic finish. Now we'll see. Back to face is Mitchell. She's been dominant in the last 3 possessions. Last 3 draws, rather. This time going up against Pietro again. Pepperoni played 12 games last year.
Sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah,
Coach.
again,
Chloe
right?
Mitchell does a great job. That one draw was pretty even there, but a great job by Mitchell just to use her height to snag that ball out of the air. Good stick control. The Knights have an opportunity here to take the lead for the first time tonight.
And it won't happen as ball will turn over into the Eagles' hands.
Yeah, Ewell trying to find John there. John looked like she just tried to curl her cut at the end to get a little closer to goal, and Ewell leading her a little outside. Unable to corral it and goes out of bounds.
Last year, Pepperoni only had 1 assist, no goals. So this is her first goal of the season. So that's her first collegiate goal. Congratulations to her and her family. Oh, great cut and perfect finish over the stick of Webb. It looked like Webb was in a position to grab that. Just nicely done over the top. With 4:23 left in the third quarter, the Eagles going back to a 2-point lead.
They'll just take the 1-goal lead here. That's our 11th,
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant.
goal.
Sorry, yeah, back to 1-goal lead. It was tied up. 4:23 left, 10-11, 1-goal lead. Real important for the Eagles, kind of stem the tide again.
Yeah.
Get themselves back into a positive situation, feeling good about what they're doing.
Yeah, and ending a 4-goal run for the Knights, and with how Chloe Mitchell has been doing here on the draws, this time Eagles are able to control the draw.
Yeah, maybe they can get to 2 in a row. They're going to call a violation on the Knights on that check. The Knights twice have had 4-goal runs tonight, and I think this is a big possession for the Eagles. Get 2, the save by Webb, stopping the opportunity for the Eagles to get a 2-goal run. Now, Knights will try to clear this ball. Speed of I mean, Ewell is just so quick. Run down by the attackman. Ewell's quick. Petersheim looks like she was equal to the task, but ends up getting past. Was Ewell, and now John, that ball might go out. It does. Reset the shot clock, and 3:35 left. Bit of a wasted opportunity for the Knights off of the hard effort from the defense to get the ball down in the offensive end.
Yeah, back-to-back turnovers on offensive possession for the Knights. Going to have to rely on their defense here to try and get another stop.
Great job from Pietro. She finds Bennett. And it'll be Bennett looking to trigger the offense from behind, which they haven't done a lot of in this game. The offense has all come from feeds up top. That time, though, the submarine cut. Second time we've seen that out of Bennett. She did try to do that. That submarine cut where the ball's out wide on one side and the cut from underneath comes underneath the player with the ball, and Knights with another turnover in the clear. This was what really got them in a hole in the first quarter, was turning it over. That one almost resulting in an immediate goal. Knights with the violation will end up having to give up a free possession. And the save from Webb. Down in front, Webb grabs the ground ball. Knights will see if they can clean up the clear. It was the thing that really, like I mentioned, they struggled with in the first quarter. Double team comes. Bruce eventually finds Mulitalo. She's working to outrun the defender. She does.
It's a little face dodge
against Benson. Didn't really result in anything, but the crowd enjoyed the effort. The stick check, not sure why the ref didn't, I mean, looked like clean checked against the Insminger had. So now we're back to 7-on-7.
Great dodge there by
yeah.
Just too quick for her defender there. Just that one little move, fakes to the right, able to get into a really good spot and finishes with her left hand off a quick shot, hip high, and that ties this game up back at 11. 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining here in this third quarter.
Tie game, 11-11 is exactly what you want on a home opener. I mean, I'm sure Coach Whitworth wants, maybe she'd prefer a blowout, but us as fans of lacrosse, we're enjoying this game. Really impressed with the mentality of the Knights to battle through the losing one of their top players to 2 yellow cards, and then going down 7-1, and now here they are. Yeah, still fighting and tying it up.
Yeah, and scoring has really picked up here in this third quarter for the Knights. Now 7 goals after 4 in the whole first half, and another draw control by Chloe Mitchell, able to find Ewell.
That was more a 50-50 ball, and she came up with a fantastic ground ball as Petersheim couldn't quite control as she was first to it. And Petersheim was quick. I've been really impressed with her speed. The move down underneath. Couldn't quite find the connection. Very good move from LeBaron. Looked like she was going to take that to the left side, come back underneath it from kind of like a men's play. We call that the finalizer, where you go one way at X and come back. The cross crease cut and the save. Great shot by Skylar Rowe, but even a better save from Robinson. She's had to pull a few of those out. That's, I would say, her And then Willie Tallow with the interception up ahead quickly to her teammate. This in the hands of LeBaron.
Yeah, and just 15 seconds remaining on the clock here. Don't know if the Knights players recognize it. Now down
Looks
to 10.
like Yule does. If she can get underneath, she has to go back, stay in her left hand. Looks like she's going to get a free shot. She is. With just 6 seconds left, tied at 11. The shot comes in. Robinson with the save, as that one looked like it might be going 5-hole. She'll have none of that.
That's the end of the
And the
third
Knights
quarter.
able to
Knights
go
11,
3 to the
Eagles
positive
11.
in the third quarter, tie it up at 11. Both teams with 20 shots. The Knights really doing a good job in draw control. They were down a good bit until the last 5, where Mitchell goes 4-1 on draw controls. And the Knights really doing a great job in the early half of controlling pace of play. Eventually, the pressure in the ride from the Eagles ends up turning the ball over 3 times in a row, really allowing Bridgewater to kind of keep their own pace going. 11-11, and this is fantastic first game for the Knights at home against a good foe. This is a really good team. It's not quite to the level, obviously, I think, of Roanoke. Knights face first, but this is going to be a team that's going to win a number of games this year, the Bridgewater Eagles. They've got great goalie play. They've got really solid attack play. I love the way that Peter Schein plays in the midfield, and she's been down at the attack. We're watching Lauren Roberts, number 9, incredible player, and then also Benson playing midfield and kind of in the attack. And then also I think that Vennet does a good job controlling everything, the sophomore from Woodland, Pennsylvania. This Bridgewater team is really solid. That being said, the Knights have had some individual players really step up to the plate. I think Willie Tallow right now, kind of defensive and maybe even overall, her play has been the cause of a lot of transition and really helped shutting down some of the offense in that early transition that Bridgewater was getting early on.
Yeah, she's really stepped it up. Really, as soon as she got put into the game, at some point in that second quarter, has really been impressive today. And going back to Bridgewater, though, Robinson, you mentioned, freshman goalie, only being the 3rd game of the season for the Eagles. We don't have a ton to go off of other than her 14 saves and 40% save percentage in those first 2 games. But in this one, she has been huge. 10 saves off 25 shots that she's been faced against, with a 47.6% save percentage. And really kept her team in this game. After what looked like, as we mentioned, might be end up being a blowout for the Eagles, the Knights have really fought their way back, but Robinson's been really impressive between the pipes.
And on the other side, I think we can say that the difference being Jessica Webb is making, I think, the saves that she's supposed to make. And then, but, I think there's been some really, really good shooting from Bridgewater. On the other side, Robinson has made probably 4 saves that she had no business making. And really, in that way, has stemmed even more opportunities. And great job from Pietro countering the move of Mitchell and pulling it out in front. Ends up losing her goggles. Bit of kind of, they're calling it inadvertent. Stop the play, give the ball back to Pietro. Really important draw for her and the Eagles team to get out, play some early offense, and maybe get this first goal. Not let the Knights get the lead. And they're going to get a free shot opportunity as Lauren Roberts, the sophomore from Frederick. She'll have an opportunity here. Cross feed. And it was a smart play. That was really good opportunity for Petersheim. Just couldn't quite handle the pass. Back behind and double team. This is just not a good situation now for the Knights. 2-on-1. Defense collapses. And still, that is awesome from Ensminger. That is not, I'm just not sure about that clear. It's the third time they've turned the ball over, throwing it behind to a double team. There are other open players, and Webb has got to find them. They've got to be a little more vocal, and because Bridgewater is just shutting down that pass behind. As soon as England got that, she had 2 players on her. It's going to be really difficult to do something with that. Webb's got to find the open players, be willing to throw that ball maybe up to the 20 or 30 yards from the cage. Maybe take it back behind, try and create some space between her and the attackman.
Yeah, the 2 Rockbridge County High School players in this game, one for the Eagles, Ensminger, who gets that last goal for them, and Tupu Mulitalo have been really impressive for their sides.
Face-off won by Mulitalo. The ball just kind of came back all the way to the defense. 3 players had a chance at it. None could come up with it until Mulitalo. Ewell looked like she's a little limping just a little bit there. Deflection will go off Bridgewater. Not really sure what was going on with Ewell. A little bit of a hitch in the get-along. Up to Mitchell and down to Ewell. Showing that she has some of the best one-on-one skills, ability to draw, create for her team. Nice now moving the ball around.
Yeah, first time we've really seen the Knights spin the ball, and I really like it.
Yeah, the patience right now kind of wears out, though, as that pass. Really no hope getting. Robinson was ready for that. Really, it's hard to feed from behind with the goalie turn and facing. You can do that if it's a quick pass from one side to another when you have the goalie moving, but Robinson was set up there nicely. Almost getting underneath is Petersheim. Again, just quick jitterbug moves. Inside out, and the great cross-face save was Webb. That may have been one of her best saves of the evening. Doing a great job coming across her face. Pace on that ball and the turnover. Not able to keep it in her stick is Kuna.
Looks like the Eagles are going to be called for a violation there.
Yeah, maybe the cross check on that. Kuna going up against the double team. They're going to call a push from behind. She has the ball again. Maybe needs to find a. She's going to. What are they calling here? Referees are going to come together. Sometimes these are kind of ego moments. You know, she's got Tupu back behind. You can just throw that ball over the top to Tupu. And now you redirect it. Shot clock at 76. This time she goes back. Gets into the hands of England. England throws the ball and can't connect on that pass to Skopik.
It was a great cut by Skopik, but just unable to connect, as you said. Really unfortunate turnover for the Knights, who still trail by 1 goal with 11 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this final quarter of the game.
Yeah, that's been the biggest problem for the Knights, has been the clear. Bridgewater doing a great job double teaming the ball. The Knights, in order to clear successfully, really need to work on redirecting the ball and using the ball instead of your feet when you're getting that double team. If it's just one-on-one, great. Beat your defender all day long. Ball down. They're going to call a violation on the Knights. That push, it'll stay in the stick of Petersheim.
40 seconds on the possession clock.
Shot clock will go to 40 seconds. But I don't think they want. I think they wanted it 60. Right. 10:30 in the game. Knights are trailing the Eagles. 40-second shot clock. Knights trailing the Eagles 11-12. Now we'll put it behind. Hacker. Still with, they'll put the defender behind her as Mulitalo will step up. Cross cut. Just, again, that cut down to, I mean, that's almost impossible for the goalie when they catch because the angle of that cut is downfield. The goalie has no time to just turn and match stick, and the finish was fantastic.
Yeah, McGill gets her third goal of the game, getting that hat trick.
Yeah, and Hacker with the nice feed. I think that was Smith on defense there. Just gets caught kind of standing. You know, especially when the ball's on that other side, you can know, you don't have to protect the back. You can step up and really cut off the early cut from the offensive player, recognizing which way she'd have to go get the ball. Great face-off from Mitchell, controlled by Ewell. Knights down by 2. 10.5. Nice handles, catching that ball with a very difficult pass from what was Adelaide Smith. High degree of difficulty to corral that ball. Did it with style. Ends up coming out of the pack with the ball, and now the Knights are moving it back and forth, trying to create a little angle, one-on-one opportunities. A lot of movement out of the Knights offense through the middle of through the crease. That one just off the stick of Mitchell. Quiggle doing a nice job helping the Knights maintain control with 35 seconds left on the shot clock. That pass a little high for John. Great ground ball in traffic. Very impressive. I believe that was Mullen.
Yeah, Kelly Mullen as Tupu almost got another interception.
She is very sneaky out there. And the shot deflected by Tupu, almost goes in the goal. Eventually off to the left side, and Webb will corral it, and she goes out to Tupu. Mulitalo.
Another impressive play by her as she has the ball in her stick right now, looking to clear.
This time goes back to her teammate, England.
Another good grab by Smith.
Underneath is Quiggle. Ball gets checked out of her stick. And they're going to call the violation. It'll stay Eagles ball. Wilson will start it. Looking to outrun the offensive players of the Knights. And Tupu, it felt like she was standing there. Didn't get too aggressive as Burris turned. It's just a little awkward as Burris turned into that and made it a little more aggressive. They're going to call Mulitalo, though, with the foul, cross-check. Felt like she was standing there and Burris kind of ran into it, but good play by Burris to draw that penalty. And now down one player, 13-11 for the Eagles. Yeah, I don't think they gave her a yellow card. Did you see a yellow card come out on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Eagles player, if they don't fall down the way she did, it might not even have been a penalty. Made it look a lot worse than it actually was.
Yeah, I think she was like surprised as she turned around, like, whoa! But they'll make that call, and Knights go a player down. Great feed inside, and the finish. Wow, catching it under duress, spinning away from the pressure, and eventually finishing it was Lauren Roberts, the attack. The attackman, 5'10", sophomore from Frederick, Maryland. Great job by her to finish. That'll be her third goal of the game, 2 assists. Leads the team with 5 points. And we've got to stop and play. Down by 3. Kind of a dangerous moment now for the Knights. They worked it back to 11-11. And then have struggled somewhat in the clears. And then the penalty here. Down by 3. They've shown that they can come back. They need another 4-goal run if they're going to take over this lead. As it is, you just want to get the next goal. Cut it to a 2-goal lead, stem the run. But Bridgewater has really done a great job of now controlling the play, and back to what was really strong for them, Adam, in the first half was those crease feeds and finding girls open on the crease. The Knights just struggling to stay with those cuts.
Yeah, and for the Knights offensively, gone back to some turnover problems. We saw them kind of starting to work it around. It looked really good. That's just a really positive sign when you make a pass, see it, the other player catch it, know it was a good pass, and they were able to swing the ball around a few times, but really didn't get any movement after that, and then have been forced to try and make some passes that they're not used to making, and especially now with 7 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in this game, down 3 goals, gotta remain patient, gotta be deliberate on offense, but also patient. And for the draws, having Chloe Mitchell is going to help them out a lot, who really all last year saw her do really well. Struggled a little bit, especially in that first quarter and first half even, but in the second half has really done well.
Yeah, the senior from Richland, Washington, has really helped the Knights in the comeback, and she's going to need to do it again. With the 90-second shot clock, there is, when you're up by 3, that can turn into some real short time, and the Knights had first shot at it. John couldn't corral it. Chloe Mitchell couldn't corral it after that. And then the quick pass ahead. Great job from Bartos to end up securing the draw and get her team with 75 seconds left on the shot clock and the game clock coming down to just under 7. They could have the ball here. The Knights could end up not seeing this ball until 6.5 minutes left. Every one of these possessions vital. They're going to call. They're going to call a push on the Knights. No, yeah, I think they're going to call it on. They're going to call that violation on Burris. Give it to the Knights as England will start with the ball.
Huge turnover for the Knights, but this is a really key clear. Really important in this game, and they have struggled recently, and there's going to be another turnover pass just over the head of Holly.
Yeah, and what Holly needs to push ahead there to create more space. Oh, great feed. What are you going to do in that position if you're Webb? Quickly off the restart, you get McGill cutting to the cage, gets the fantastic pass, and they finish pushing that lead to 15-11, 4-point lead. And again, it's just the spacing is a little off. I mean, the reason that was really hard on England is there was no passing lane. She's trying to throw it over a player to get it in the hands of Kuna, and that's difficult. It's a high degree of difficulty, and you're making things really difficult if you're not moving to create a passing lane where you don't have to throw it through a defender. England did a good job beating the double team. They're not getting a lot of movement or kind of athletic play from the goalie cage, where coach is just asking Webb to stay in cage, and that's okay. That's a strategy. It just kind of depends on how you feel about the overall strategy you want to employ. You want to keep the goalie closer to the cage or not, but the other players need to be moving and try to create more opportunities for passing lanes. The Knights can clean that up. They've shown that they can score. They have an opportunity here. 5:50 left in the fourth quarter, and the Knights are now down to 60 seconds on the shot clock. Don't really want to bleed too much off here. Working the ball back behind or the attack. Knights in a bit of a motion offense. Open on the cut, can't quite get a shot off, was Rowe. And these are the moments where I think you most miss Alyssa Johnson, Adam, where she can, nice catch and finish was Chloe Mitchell. That feed to the crease, catches it. So we've seen that 3 or 4 times from both teams where they're catching and spinning out of the pressure to finish, and she puts it away from the defender and away from the goalie, and she's able to finish.
Yeah, Chloe Mitchell especially loves to do that, coming up from the near side or right side of the field and cutting across, catches the ball in her left hand, but is much more comfortable with the stick in her right hand. So just takes one more step and then uses her back to protect her stick and turn away and then fire a shot without the goalie being able to see the stick even, which makes it really tough on them to make a save. And Knights have a chance here. Down 3 again, 5 minutes and 23 seconds remaining. If Chloe Mitchell can continue her dominance on the draws as of late, and she is able to do it, she's going to get the ground ball.
Oh, they're going to call the violation on Adelaide Smith. Looked like she was in good position. They're going to call her for the violation, and now with 90-second shot clock, I'm sure they'll bleed some of this off.
Yeah, Eagles are content to just pass the ball up top right now. Not in any hurry to make an attempt towards goal. And we're going to have a yellow card shown to Roxy LeBaron.
Inopportune time for that.
Yeah, away from the ball completely. I'm not sure if there was a cutter or what actually happened on that one.
Trying to see, just watching the replay. They're going to say, so as her cutter came across the crease, she had tried to get her stick out front to stop the pass coming in, and ends up catching the offensive player in the face. And kind of the problem is just kind of recognizing earlier when those cuts are going to come. Got to be able to play. I feel like the defenders need to play a little bit more front side or ball side defense when they're off ball. That way when the cut comes, you're not a step behind it.
Yeah, you're right. And that's still frustrating. I mean, what else do you want her to do there? She's just trying to stay in front of the offensive player, and the Eagles wisely will choose to back that one out and run some more time off the clock.
Yeah, 80 seconds on the shot clock, 4.5 left in the game. Knights are down 12-15 to the Bridgewater Eagles. Rutalo scoops it, but they're going to call a push, and it'll stay Eagles ball. I think they're doing a smart job right now of managing the clock and just bleeding time off. Coach Hughes definitely in control of her team. And free play for Annika Benson. She feeds down low, and great shot just inside the far pipe. Thought maybe they might pull that out and release it, but they didn't. Takes, and the Knights get caught napping with that cut underneath the defense and then finishing far pipe. Really great shot. We had a good angle on that one, Adam. She tucked that one just inside the left pipe.
Yeah, and is probably going to put this one out of reach for the Knights, now down 4 with just over 4 minutes remaining.
Yeah, they'd have to get the face off. They'd have to get the draw, go and score, and just kind of keep control of the ball, because the 90-second shot clock can end up killing 4:16 left.
Yeah, definitely is a possibility, and they would be able to do it, but absolutely no room for error on any draw, no turnovers, have to score on every possession. Chloe does do a good job winning that draw there, and the Knights are going to have an offensive possession here. Going to have to score quickly here on this possession.
Smith looking to initiate. Knights with 3:50 on the clock and 68 on the shot clock. They're going to call some sort of violation, and hits a turnover. Not sure what happened there, Adam.
Knights players continuing to work really hard, and they're able to
There's the turnover.
be rewarded as the pass is going to roll out of bounds.
I was trying to figure out what the call was. Still can't figure it out. Either way, Knights have the ball again. Real unfortunate for the Eagles, as they had a chance to almost just definitely put that away time-wise. There would have been very little left if they just bled the shot clock all the way down to 0. As it is, 2:40 left in the game. Knights down by 4.
Yeah, and this is where you really miss having Alyssa there on the field for her dodging ability, scoring ability, and just leadership within the offense.
Kelly Mullen there with a fantastic defensive play, getting the ball and clearing it quickly for her team. As there's now 2 minutes left in the game, shot clock's at 65, and it's going to be a real struggle for the Knights to come back for this one. You had it tied at 11, Adam, and then the 5-1 run for the Eagles coming underneath, moving the ball quickly, and then eventually a great save from Webb.
What a save.
Yeah, fantastic. He's still trying to come with the ball. Eventually, it is in the stick of Skopek, and then to Mulitalo. Trying to push it quick. Mulitalo's had a lot of up and down. Probably running low on energy reserves. Great pass, and then the save from Robinson. It's been a while since we've seen that save from Robinson, but she really stepped up right there.
Yeah, she did, and there's a really unfortunate bounce from the Knights as after the save goes off the stick of the Knights player who was right by the crease, and Eagles able to regain possession, and now are going to be able to bleed out the clock, and they do call a timeout.
Minute 9, up by 4. There's not much you can do in that. I mean, the shot clock will be off, so.
Yeah, maybe just to go over this last minute as you have a really young team. Just let them know the pressure that they should expect and what to do. Still on the stat sheet, though, really fairly even game. Bridgewater leading in shots by 4, also 4 on shots on goal. Free position shots, 4 of 9 for the Knights, 2 of 7 for the Eagles. Both teams and both goalies with 11 saves. Draw control is 16-15 in favor of the Eagles. Chloe Mitchell doing a really good job in the second half to get that number closer. Knights do edge out the Eagles in ground balls 20-13. Turnovers, both teams really struggling in that category. Not a very clean game in that sense. 27 turnovers for the Eagles compared to the 29 for the Knights. Caused turnovers, 12 for the Knights, 11 for the Eagles. You go down this whole thing so even. And really that's what it's been after that first 4 goals in those first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. And that's, we look at the scoreboard right now, 12-16. Knights get off to a better start, and this game really could be tied right now, and this timeout being called for the Eagles could be to win the game, not to close out this game.
And if the Knights are going to hope to stay in these kind of games, you got to clean up the clear, got to figure out how to work a little bit better through Jessica Webb in terms of outside drawing. If they draw the double back to her, and she's going to have to push up a little bit on teams that are going to be real aggressive against the bottom line, or bring back a couple extra players. Oh, and Mitchell using her length to get a deflection, and they're going to call the violation on her on the check. The Eagles, definitely a lot of fun to watch. Their offense, they're cutting. They're going to definitely be able to, I think, make some noise again. A deflection. This one coming from Adelaide Smith. And Mitchell comes up with it, tries to find Muitalo. The violation coming on the check. Clock still running, 6 seconds, 5. And it'll be in the game. Knights kept pushing all the way to the end. Not quite enough as the Bridgewater College Eagles pull off a 16-12 victory here at Knight Stadium in the Knights home opener. Getting revenge for last year's loss. The Eagles now advancing to 2-1 on the season. The Knights 0-2 early on in the season. This one a much better effort, and got to give them credit bouncing back against a tough loss in their first game against Roanoke College. You already went over all the stats already in that timeout, Adam. It's a very even game after the first 5, maybe 7 minutes. And it's going to be an opportunity for the Knights to learn from. Hopefully they can. They don't get much time as they face their 3rd consecutive ODAC team, Lynchburg, down at Lynchburg on Saturday. That game will be at 4 p.m. Not sure if they're going to have video for that. Usually Lynchburg does. So I know we have families all over the country that want to watch this Knights team and see how they do. I've really enjoyed watching, that. I think if the Knights have Alyssa Johnson in and they clean up the clearing, this game could have been even closer than it was. But got to give Bridgewater credit. Player of the game is got to be Robinson. Saves that she made, how she really worked to not only after saves, but her clearing was fantastic. She made great passes, some early passes all the way up to attackman. So she just really did so much to keep the team in the game. In the end, fantastic opportunity for both teams to get another game in early in the season. Weather cooperated. I'm Scotty Winterton with Adam Peterson on the call. Production, yeoman's effort from Craig Reese and Paul Morrissey and all the staff on camera. Hopefully everybody out there stays safe and God bless.
And go Knights.